the hell? Somebody changed my test and ordered new meds? Hey, Grace, who's been messing with my file?
Check the initials.
I can't read that chicken scratch.
Here, let me. Years of experience. Oh, BD. Bennett Dublin?
Of course. Damn man.
Oh, Julie, forgot your keys.
No wonder my bag felt light. Thanks.
Yeah, actually, it was just an excuse to give you a kiss without Joe barging in.
Mm.
Mrs. Winters is watching. Good morning, Mrs. Winters.
Good luck with your interview. I hope it goes well.
Why, you want me out of town?
I want whatever is good for you.
No, that could cover a lot of territory.
Let's keep it simple for now. Today, you take the interview. I'll find Chris and find out if he really ratted on Karen.
Oh, like he'd fess up.
To me? He would.
Oh, right, you guys are friends. Sorry.
Frank, you're judging him without knowing all the facts.
Well, you're defending him.
Yes, until I get the whole story.
And if he did sandbag Karen?
If he did, he won't be my friend for long.
Morning, Dr. Devlin.
Morning.
Our patient's recovering nicely.
Our patient?
No, I'm sorry, that was presumptuous. I was just verbalizing my internal actualization process.
Your actualization process?
Yes, I believe that before a desire can be given life, it must first exist as a reality in the mind of the person with the goal.
Well, actually, I've applied the same technique myself on occasion.
Well, then I know I'm on the right track.
Well, that's no secret. You're no slouch in my OR.
Thank you.
You hear about Frank Scanlon's job offer?
No.
He was offered the post of athletic director at Colson College in Chicago.
Really? You live near Chicago, don't you?
It's a small world.
Your daughter will miss Frank if he leaves town.
I imagine.
But I'm sure her friends will pitch in to keep her busy. I'll keep an eye out for her myself.
You will. Chris, what did you know about me before we met?
Well, everyone in medicine knows your reputation.
So what do you think that I'd do to a young intern foolish enough to try to use my daughter?
Stop the noise. I'm an exhausted intern trying to sleep.
Oh, you're getting soft, dude.
Am not.
You are too. All work and no play makes Joe a fat boy.
Pass you the ball.
I don't want to hurt you, little boy.
Are you sure you can handle it, old man?
In my sleep, just shoot the ball.
Ooh. What, are you burning off adrenaline while waiting for the interview?
Yeah, they want me, not the other way around.
Exactly. Play it cool, drive up the offer.
Yeah, I really don't want the job.
Right. Athletic director, prestigious college. Sure you don't.
I am a happy guy. I've got a house that we paid for in, 29 years. Got a good job. It's true, I live with a brother who's a real pain in the neck, but life can't be all.
Ah, but you forgot to mention Julie.
Oh, yeah, what about her?
Well, you're going to want to keep her in the style that she's grown accustomed to, right?
Yeah, here's a clue. There are ways to make women happy that have absolutely nothing to do with money.
But you should at least keep an open mind and hear the terms.
That recruiter would have to offer me the sun and the moon to make me say yes.
But nothing would compare to the stars in Julie's eyes.
Hey, shh. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Bob Dorsey from Colson College. I'm looking for Frank Scanlon.
Hey, nice to meet you, Mr. Dorsey. Excuse my brother. He's a little tight on cash.
Yeah, well, I'll make myself scarce.
Basketball too, huh?
I try.
I watched some of your football films before I came out here.
Man.
Including your final run for Notre Dame. You were a remarkable wide receiver.
Thank you.
Nice thing about being athletic director. You have other guys to do the running. For you, it's all game and no pain.
Look, Mr. Dorsey, I think it's really nice that you came all this way just to meet me, and I'm very flattered. But I think it's only fair to tell you, I can't imagine you making me an offer that I'd accept.
You haven't heard my offer yet.
I'm happy with my life here.
I bet I can make you a lot happier.
Exactly what needs my undivided attention this very minute.
I feel that I am not being trained as aggressively as the rest of the interns on rotation.
Given your physical limitations, there are only so many ways that I can use you effectively in the OR.
I had a feeling you'd say something like that. So I put together this material for you. This is a brochure for a standing frame. It can lift a doctor to the height of the operating table. And the next one is a brochure for a stand-up wheelchair. It's got gas-charged cylinders and can lift a person to a standing position. It's not very expensive and extremely effective. That last one, that surgeon put sandbags on the wheels of his chair to hold it in place. And then they position the operating table so he can work directly from his own chair.
In a perfect world, there would be gadgets and doodads for every conceivable physical challenge. Blind surgeons would be able to operate in Braille. Unfortunately, we live in the real world. And don't get me wrong. I have a great deal of sympathy for the obstacles that you
I don't want your pity. And I don't need it either. See, when you look at me, you see a man with physical limitations, right? But when I look at myself, I see a doctor. A doctor with unlimited potential.
Have you always been this persistent?
When it's important, yes. Please look over that material. I'm sure we can find a solution that is mutually acceptable.
I'll take a look at it. When I have the time.
I appreciate it.
You know, you've gone through those papers 100 times. Now, you're not going to find the answer there, not with a guy like Boardman.
You got a better plan?
Well, no, not off the top of my head. I don't even know the guy. I mean, he hardly ever even comes in here. But when he does, he's always alone. I mean, I never see him sitting around having beers with the rest of the doctors.
Dr. Boardman is definitely lacking in social graces.
Yeah, well, I can tell you this. From what I hear, he is one hard-nosed surgical resident.
Well, tell me, Mike. I've tried several times to get through to this guy. I explain things in a very reasonable manner.
Whoa. Excuse me. Excuse me. You? Reasonable?
Ha! All right. So I get a little emphatic once or twice.
Yeah, well, I heard that you yelled at him.
Only to make a point. Talking to that guy is like trying to go through a brick wall, head first.
Well, I'll tell you this. If you plan on banging your head up against a brick wall, you better figure out a way to do it so you end up with something a lot better than a bad headache and a bloody skull.
And I want every IV bag sorted by size and content.
Shall I arrange them by expiration date too, Doctor?
Good idea. See me for more when you're done.
Oh, my God. You have to clean out the supply closet?
Yep.
Want me to help?
Nope. I want all the glory for myself.
At least you can laugh about it. I heard Chris caused you some trouble?
Trouble? Yeah, I'd say. He stole my letter, took it to Burgess, and tried to sabotage my career, yeah.
Why would he do a thing like that?
One less competition for the Quartermain residency, one less live body in the way.
That's horrible if it's true.
You know, there were so many times these past few months where I wanted to tell somebody about all my problems with Jagger. But I didn't. I kept my personal problems at home. I tried. But now, thanks to Chris, not only does everybody know about it, but everybody thinks I'm loony, too.
I really want to hear what Chris has to say about this. I can't believe he'd be so cruel.
I'm sure he'll have an interesting spin on the whole thing. What about Frank? Is he going to have that big job interview?
He's having it as we speak.
Yeah? Do you want him to take it?
If that's what he wants.
Even if his leaving feels like a big kick in the stomach?
This is an incredible opportunity for him. It's not like anyone planned to mess things up for us.
Dr. Devlin, I happen to care very much for Julie. With all due respect, sir, I resent the insinuation that I would use her.
Why are you so anxious to be her protector?
Look, I don't mean this as a criticism, but your daughter is naive and unassuming, sometimes to a fault. And if no one in her peer group is looking out for her interests, there's no telling what kind of inappropriate situation she might find herself in. I mean, she's already been sucked into this romantic illusion that life among the working poor is somehow more noble.
Well, that's Frank Scanlon's influence.
Well, I don't like him, but neither do you. So if I can get Julie's mind off of him, I'd like to think that you wouldn't have a problem with that.
Assuming I consider you any more appropriate for my daughter than Scanlon, which is beside the point, because Julie makes her own choices.
Yeah, well, we both know things can happen to influence choices. Things like, oh, I don't know, job offers coming out of nowhere.
Now, what are you insinuating?
Just that you want what's best for Julie as well.
I don't have a problem with you, Chris. In fact, I intend to try to help you if I can on a professional level.
I appreciate that.
But my daughter's a different matter. I'd tread a lot more lightly where she's concerned if I were you. Carry on, Doctor.
Where do you get off interfering with my patient?
Right, well, I corrected a mistake you made on the woman in room 605.
Why don't you just go away? Or is your life in Chicago so empty that you have to hang around here to torture me and control Julie?
I did you a favor, Doctor. I quietly corrected a mistake that would have come back to haunt you. I think a word of gratitude would be appropriate.
I will be grateful when you stop interfering with my work and leave my roommate alone. Stop hatching plots to try and break up Julie and Frank.
Your indignation's impressive. I hate to inform you there is no plot.
Right. And you were with Chris Ramsey just now because he's such terrific company.
I suggest you calm down. Go to the powder room, splash some cold water on your face. You get this worked up over some imaginary scheme, you can't stay properly focused on your patients. In the meantime, I'm going to make a note to myself to keep an eye on your cases. Protect you when you make another mistake.
So, how'd it go?
With what?
What with the interview?
Oh, it was okay.
That's it. It was okay.
Yeah, the job offer wasn't so hot after all. Oh.
Sorry to hear that. I thought for sure it was going to be great.
Yeah. I just don't like Beamers. They're so yuppie.
They offered you a BMW?
Yeah, that was a small part of the package, yeah.
A small part? What was the large part?
Twice what I'm making.
Twice?
More if I resign in a year, but I might not even want to. The last guy who had the job went to the pros.
Wait a second. They got to have you confused with somebody else here.
Yeah, right.
This is unbelievable. So what did you say?
I said I'd think about it.
You're kidding me, right? Frank, tell me you're kidding me.
It'd be a pain to move all of my stuff to Chicago.
Frank, I will help you pack and help you move. Plus, I told you I'd get your room.
Oh, yeah, you think I'd leave and let you invade my territory? Forget it.
Frank, this is insane. This is a dream job. Anybody in the world would want to have it. Hell, I'd want to have it.
Well, then have it.
They don't want me. They want you. And the question is, what are you going to do about it?
You okay? I'm fine.
Right.
Listen, I'll be okay in a minute.
Sure?
Yeah.
So you were saying?
I don't think the distance will make a difference. Not if we truly care about each other.
Are you sure you want to be having this conversation with me? I mean, Jagger and I are not exactly the poster couple for long-distance love.
Did Frank take that job? I don't know. He had the interview this morning. Really? I've been encouraging him to accept it. I can't very well encourage him not to. But honestly, the separation factor kind of worries me.
I hope my venting at you last night didn't rattle your confidence. I mean, you and Frank are not like Jagger and me. Frank is not an undercover cop, so at least you guys can use the phone.
Julie, there you are. Mom called. She got second place at the club flower show.
Great.
You should call her later. Congratulate her.
I will, as soon as I get the chance. You know that job Frank was offered? The recruiter wouldn't take no for an answer. He flew all the way here to interview Frank in person.
No kidding. Well, that's terrific.
Getting out of here.
Temper. You need to watch that if you're going to be a good doctor.
Mike, what would you do if you had to deal with Boardman?
Forget about it.
Come on. How would you break through that brick wall of his?
Look, I'm not the guy to ask.
Why not?
Well, because I'm not the most understanding person. I figure I would lose my temper and I'd knock the guy on his butt.
Nah. It's probably not the best way to insinuate myself into his good graces. Maybe I should just stop banging my head against the wall and go around it.
Dr. K, radiology.
Grace, if anyone asks for me, tell them I went out.
Emergency nail wrap?
Something important I need to do.
Racquetball, 6 p.m. I checked your schedule and you're free.
Brave man. You want a rematch?
Well, yeah, I'll let you win.
Did not.
Yeah. Call your mother.
All right.
Dr. K, radiology. Lori K, radiology.
You guys have been getting along well.
It helps that he's being nice to Frank. He hasn't always liked my boyfriend.
Really? You mean sometimes he's a control freak? I didn't notice.
No comment.
We won't go there.
Okay.
Hey, Julie. How's it going?
All right.
You should know. You're not alone.
Hello?
Hello. See, I like to respect people's right to privacy. I wouldn't want to have you say anything that I might overhear and you'd regret.
She talked to you?
A lot of people in this hospital used to think that you were a sneak and a lowlife, but now you've proven it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Karen said you stole her mail.
Let me tell you what really happened.
Morning, Ben. Nice to see you again.
How'd the interview go?
It was salivating.
It's only money.
Yeah, lots and lots of money.
I'm happy with my life here.
Frank, it doesn't mean it can't get any better.
I offered the guy a job nobody in his right mind would turn down.
What'd he say?
Did he think it over?
Not good enough.
Come on, he's gonna say yes. Why would he possibly refuse?
Because Julie is here.
Does she want you to turn it down?
No, she told me to take it.
See?
Joe, quit pushing.
Look, Frank, at least admit to being intrigued.
All right, I admit, it is flattering to have people who have never met me want me, but that's an ego trip.
Frank, you deserve this.
I have commitments here.
To what? Huh? Driving a rig? Grading tests? Hello? You can be replaced.
Thanks a lot.
But all I'm saying is, why pass up an opportunity like this? Especially after everything that you've done for me.
I haven't done that much.
Right. You came back here after Dad died, worked night and day to put me through med school. But you didn't do much, right?
Just don't pin any ribbons on me. I figure one day you'll let me hang out at your beach house.
You know what? Do you ever think what this job means to me? Free tickets on the 50-yard line, a ride in your BMW, a road trip or two?
You get out of my fantasy.
Ah, so you admit it. This is a dream come true, Frank. Just take it.
Are you sure he bought it?
Positive. Frank Scanlon is about to become nothing more but a memory for your daughter. Well, you better remember us little fish when you're in your big pond.
Us sharks eat minnows.
Oh, ugly shot. Yeah, save your critique for the helpless freshman.
I thought you were on call. What are you doing here?
I am saving you from making the biggest mistake for all the right reasons.
Am I supposed to know what you're talking about?
You will. Pay attention. Let's start with, have you had any too good to be true job offers lately?
This is Charles Gibson.
And Lisa McCree. Tomorrow, a new kind of money banks want you to use, but should you?
Plus, actor Brad Pitt talks about his latest film on tomorrow's Good Morning America.